Today we are going to discuss on the topic assimilation and acculturation. Culture consists of the acquired or cultivated behavior and thoughts of individuals within a society. In other words, culture has dynamism. It grows, and this growth is attained by culture processes. Culture processes and culture change go together. Change cannot be brought about by processes. Growth does not mean that culture gives away its continuity or persistence. When we talk about Indian culture, we say that the culture here undergoes transformation, but it maintains its continuity. Hence, there is continuity and change. According to Crover, by process of culture, we mean those factors which operate either towards the stabilization and preservation of cultures and their parts or towards growth and change. Changes in turn may consist either of increments such as new developments, inventions and learned traits acquired from outside, or of losses and displacements. Culture processes take place when one generation hands over its culture to the new generation. We shall here discuss assimilation and acculturation processes of culture in order to understand cultural growth properly. Assimilation refers to a process whereby a group of people, having lived among another group of people for a considerable period, adopt the ways of life of the latter in such a way as to make it completely indistinguishable from the latter. When the social processes reach a high degree of integration, it takes the form of assimilation. It is something like the biological system of food assimilation, in which complex food materials are broken into simpler substances and assimilated in the body. At the stage of integration, the culture traits, quite like food materials, maintain their identity, but finally, in assimilation, lost their identity. This is a very complex process, and hardly any society reaches the stage of perfect assimilation. In assimilation, the people and their culture do not maintain their individual identities. It was in the 50s that the US society was near assimilation. But soon it became clear that each linguistic group and nationality maintains its separate identity. In our country too, in view of multi-ethnicities, multi-languages, multi-regions, integration can be attained only in a limited way. We can maintain our ethnic identities and at the same time identify ourselves with secularism, socialism, democracy, and scientific ethics. We could also follow a common economic system and mode of administration. In this kind of integration, on one hand, the different aspects of culture maintain their identity and autonomy, and on the other hand, fall into the national mainstream. Obviously, Assimilation is a higher social process of integration. This is a stage which is very difficult to attain. Social anthropologists have talked about tribal assimilation. G. S. Gure, in his book The Scheduled Tribes, argues that some Indian tribes have taken the path of assimilation. Gure has devoted two full chapters to tribal assimilation in the Hindu culture. In the same way, N. K. Bose, in his book The Structure of Hindu Society, 1975, maintains that there is a specific method of Hindu culture to absorb the tribals within its fold. However, generally, it has been observed that the process of assimilation is very complex and perfect assimilation seems almost impossible. According to Crover, acculturation comprises those changes produced in a culture by the influence of another culture, which results in an increased similarity of the two. The influence may be reciprocal or overwhelmingly one way. Herskovits considers acculturation as the strongest mechanism of culture change. Culture diffusion is also possible through acculturation. Perhaps an authentic definition of acculturation is given by a committee formulated by the American Anthropological Association, which consisted of Redfield, Herskovits, and Linton. According to this committee, quote, acculturation comprehends those phenomena which result when groups of individuals having different cultures come into continuous first-hand contact with subsequent changes in the original culture patterns of either or both groups, unquote. The definition given by the committee is further interpreted by Crover. He says that the acculturation process has an effect on other cultures. This means that acculturation also affects the society which carries the culture. In the British social anthropology context, it could be said that acculturation processes are studied by ethnology. For instance, rivers studied the Todas of Nilgiri hills of Tamil Nadu. In course of time, the Toda culture, and for that matter, the culture of any Indian or African tribe, has been influenced by Western civilization. Acculturation is a social process. It helps us to understand social change. Historically, it was started in 1935 by cultural anthropologists. Both historical and empirical facts are obtained through this process. It is found useful even in the fields of psychology and education. In the developing countries, acculturation studies are quite popular. There have come about a large number of acculturation studies. Jan Breman's study of tribals of South Gujarat, S. L. Doshi's study of Bhils, and Betty's study of Sripuram village are examples of acculturation studies. These studies held out an exciting promise of showing how the wheels of culture change go round. One can see what people have been, what they were, and what they are turning into, and why. As said at the outset, culture is acquired. It is handed over from one generation to the other. It is an ongoing process. The dynamics of culture are kept alive by several processes such as exclusion, acculturation, diffusion, integration, and assimilation. The social process provides opportunities to a culture to add innovations within its fold. The wheel of culture therefore continues to move from one generation to another. The answer to the question as to how culture grew and spread has been given by several authors. Today, at the beginning of 21st century, it is difficult indeed to present a precise and clear position of culture growth and spread. This has been very pointedly put by Herskovits. Briefly, we can state that the search for pure cultures, uncontaminated by outer contact, has been almost entirely given over, while the hypothetical nature of reconstruction of unrecorded history has come to be clearly understood as an exercise in probability.